dating soon after. A few years later, Meg's career went into orbit when Harry met Sally. Meg's performance opposite Billy Crystal featured the most famous, if not the only, fully clothed fake orgasm ever put on film.
I think it was Meg who said we should do something about faking orgasms. And then I said it should be in a public place. And I believe it was Rob said, like in a restaurant. And Nora said, oh, this is really funny. Let me write this. So we did this whole thing. We started writing. We knew it was a funny thing. So it was Rob and Nora and I and Andy Scheinman and Meg. And I said, you know, it'd be really funny. Some older woman is sitting there. And then she says, you know what, waiter, I'll have what she's at. And that turned out to be Rob's mom, Estelle.
Harry's character, he's very smug about his sexual appeal, and he's saying, I guess he gets up and leaves women after they've done the big nasty. And Sally kind of comes back and says, look, this is a creepy thing you do. This is maybe a creepy thing that women do back to you, and I don't think you can tell the difference between what's real and what's not. I have to fake an orgasm with a tuna fish sandwich in my hand. In front of Rob Reiner's mother. I can't believe I do it.
The funny story is, on the set, we're now on the Lower East Side at Katz's Delicatessen. We're shooting the scene. It was an awkward scene for Meg to do. She's got to fake this in front of 50, 60 extras, which is, you know, a lot different than faking at home in front of one person. So she's doing the first rehearsal, and she was very tentative. And Rob was, you know, first of all, he acts every part with you. He's like a cheerleader. He says it while you say it, you know. And so he was like, no, it's got to be like this. And he sat down opposite me and went wild and had the biggest orgasm that anyone has ever had. I'm telling you, he was pounding the table, and spice balls were flying off pastrami's, and little gherkins were becoming pickles. It was like the wildest. He was sweating like it was amazing. And when he finished, everybody applauded. And makes it, oh, I got it.
How do you feel that people still associate you so much with that role and love the one scene in the deli?
I think that scene is hilarious, and I love that Sally Albright is exactly the kind of person who would never do that, and yet she does it, and it's just a really well-crafted comic scene, you know, thanks to Nora and Rob and Billy. So I'm proud of it.
Frank Runyon worked with Meg years earlier on the soap As the World Turns.
Meg never really got to play the comedy that she got to play in Harry Met Sally, and she's played. So it's the quirky, funny, stumble-bum things that she's gotten to do, and she's a very talented comic actress.
With the success of When Harry Met Sally, Meg Ryan was a hot commodity. She began working with Hollywood's top leading men, including Tom Hanks in the comedy Joe versus the Volcano.
I found out right away that Meg is very smart. And Meg is also very prepared. Meg is not waiting for you to do or say something before she does it. And yet, she'll react completely to what it is that you're doing. You know, it's great give and take with Meg.
So I remember we were rehearsing with John and Tom and having so much fun and going, I can do this. I was stopped at a red light in my car, and I was going, this is great. Why am I, you know, like I make myself all crazy about it, but it's just so much fun. I want to do this for as long as I can.
Joe versus the Volcano was a box office dud, but Meg's love life did some erupting. On Valentine's Day, 1991, Meg married Dennis Quaid. 14 months later, they became parents with the arrival of Jack Henry Quaid.
I remember when I first became a mom, I had not a clue as to what I was getting into, that I panicked a little bit there.
Movies and motherhood, that was Meg's life, but her career started slowing down. Offbeat films, including Prelude to a Kiss and Flesh and Bone, were disappointing both critically and commercially. Then she reteamed with Tom Hanks for Sleepless in Seattle. This was the Meg Ryan audiences loved, and they came out in droves.
What you get to do is bypass all that time that you waste and effort that you waste getting to know each other. And so you just end up doing the work. I must say this is probably the least self-conscious I've ever felt in the course of making the movie. And at the same time, the most fluid.
Sleepless in Seattle reinforced Meg's image as the funny and lovable girl next door.
I think the great charm of Meg is her ability to not appear to be a film actress, to appear to be just a normal person, and yet she can show the charm and beauty and humor that is a part of American womanhood on screen, and we all recognize ourselves or our girlfriends.
Coming up, Meg takes a chance.
I mean, it was so out of my usual anything familiar to me.
And later,
Whatever story was getting told in the tabloid press was a story that was being told that was full of half information and very little truth.
I'm Jules Asner. Welcome back to Revealed. By 1994, Meg Ryan was a Hollywood leading lady. She co-starred in two of the best date movies of all time, When Harry Met Sally and Sleepless in Seattle. But Meg wanted to stretch as an actress. Her role as an alcoholic wife in the film When a Man Loves a Woman was anything but lighthearted. Director Luis Mandoki.
I thought Meg, since I first saw her in Harry Met Sally, was an unbelievable actress that had a huge range that we had, that at the same time she's so charming and so likable and so with such a sense of humor that she can go through things. You can identify with her even though she's playing a very difficult role to play.
And that's when I started thinking, this is really satisfying. This is a really satisfying thing to do.
Really, because you already had so much success before then.
I just kind of started looking around at my peers and at the people who were doing such amazing work and going, a lot of things. I had a lot of aha experiences during that movie.
I don't want to be angry anymore. I don't want to feel guilty or sad or depressed or frustrated or confused or just once for 5 minutes I want to feel good.
She inherently is a brave actress, and she takes a lot of risk in her work. So that's inherent in the way she approaches her work.
She's a sweetheart still in the movie for me, from my point of view. But at the same time, suddenly you see that she has a range that we've never seen before, and that she can do anything. So she's an actress that I think from now on we will be able to see her in very different kinds of movies because she can do anything.
A lot of people really, I think, were surprised by you choosing that role because for